I'm sure it's ballpark, but I just don't know if it's completely accurate. Maybe that doesn't really matter.
All right. Yeah, that's not that important. Okay. So
Okay.
you said here that you supported the product management team with technical evaluations, product understanding, usage, and marketing communication review, right?
Yes.
So, okay, and you installed video projectors in corporate conference room for testing and to assess potential design and functional issues. All right. So there are a lot of things to cover here. First, like, can you start by giving me tell me about like your day-to-day roles here. Like, what did you do day to day? What were your responsibilities?
Testing of our products, versus competitor products.
All right.
Supporting product management was a lot of things because basically everybody that was a product manager, I worked for everybody. I had like 9 bosses. So I was low man on the totem pole. So they needed something done. They came to me. So, but I also did stuff like managing where we sent out products to be tested by like third-party testing labs, and I would be the one that had to kind of coordinate that logistically and also manage, what their findings were and what they were getting done. I think what else? Okay. That also included like, logistics for getting products to trade shows and sales events. I think what else? I did testing on products that included tearing the competitor products apart, which was kind of fun.
I can imagine.
Yeah, especially when the company's like, okay, buy this $900 projector, open it up, and take out this part. I'm like, okay, you want me to waste $900 and take it apart? That's fine. You're the boss, whatever you want.
It's the dream of the child inside us.
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of disrepair instead of repair. Break it. So but it wasn't really break it, but trying to think. So that was done. But in doing that, though, part of that was to supply things to the sales team so that they understood what the competitor's product, what their weak points were, which was kind of the whole point of a lot of that testing and management of outside projects, was trying to find weaknesses in the competitors' systems.
Right. So essentially, you help them gather competitive intelligence, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And
what?
Yeah, and then there was documentation. I think a lot of it, but the review and stuff. But that was the more key thing was doing the doing the competitive analysis and product testing, and also what would you call it? Going out to working when I worked trade shows, I'd have to I'd help with giving presentations at trade shows, whether just you're on the floor talking to people, or if it's a specialized presentation, which we would have like in an upstairs room, I'd help with that as well, giving those presentations. So.
Right. So like in these presentations, you educate your clients about the product and its features and designs.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. And did this is there any metric to show that this improved product knowledge or improved product sales or something along those lines?
No, not in a trade show situation. You don't know. You're just trying to show people and because they're going to everybody's booth and everybody's presentation, so you can't really judge that.
Right. Okay. And what was the product exactly?
Video projectors.
Right. These
digital
are video projectors.
Yeah, digital video projectors.
Okay. And how did you go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know if it matters, but at the time, and it's probably still true, is Epson's like number 1 or number 2 in video projectors in, probably in the United States and the world. So they're like one of the biggest companies for that, most successful companies for that. I don't know if that can be worked in or not, but.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that can definitely be worked in. Okay. So I was asking about this marketing communication, right? You review marketing communications, right? So
yeah, usually for technical accuracy.
For technical accuracy. All right. So did you help them improve product positioning? Like, did you give them recommendations like, hey, you should this marketing material should be shared like this, you should uh, concentrate on these features, so because they're like they speak to customer needs more? So did you do that?
No, that wasn't really my role.
All right, okay.
That was more like product management would be people I worked with, but that would be more there up to them to say, hey, you need to, this is going to sell it more if we talk about this. That was more their thing.
All right. Okay, product understanding usage. Right. Okay, so before we move on to the competitive analysis, like, did you also perform like general market analysis or like customer analysis, like target
No.
customers, analyze target customers? No. All right.
No.
Okay. All right. So in the comparative analysis, you told me that you like broke down a part of complete like Purdue projector and like said, okay, this is how it works. This is the special things inside. Like, this is what makes our competitors' part special, and this is like these are the parts inside, stuff like that, right? So, like, did your comparative intelligence, did it like how should I put, redirect the corporate strategy of development of a product? Like, the product was being developed one way, and then you provide this key vital piece of information to competitive intelligence, and they were like, okay, let's change directions.
No, our product was already better than theirs. So we just had to prove to everybody that ours was better. It was more in a way to influence the sales team, to give them ways to talk to clients, talk to potential clients about, again, why ours is better and theirs is weaker, why they should go with our product and not someone else's.
Right. Well, that's pretty impressive. Okay. Product support specialist and advanced product support groups. So let's move on to the next position, I suppose, like product support specialist. How is this different from the previous one?
The two were two different product lines. Oh, you mean for advanced product support specialist? One was for point of sale products. The other one was for printer products. So same department, different group. So
all right.
The first, I'm going to start with the printer group. That one was actually more, we tested pre-launch products. So like we were a subsidiary, so our parent company was making the products. They would send us an early version that someone maybe actually hand-built, wasn't off of the production line, but was hand-built by an engineer. And we would, start testing it. We'd be working on different versions of it all the way through when it came to get ready for launch and after launch. We were advanced product support. The way I always explained it is that we were the closest thing to engineers at our subsidiary, which was because the engineers were back in Japan. But if no one else could solve it below us and it got to us, then it was most likely a hardware issue, which, like I said, we've been testing the product since, way before it launched. And if we couldn't solve it or figure out what it was, we would then pass it up to the engineers in Japan. But we were the closest, but that made us the closest thing to an engineering department in the subsidiary. We didn't usually work with customers, at least not regular day-to-day customers. We usually worked with repair centers, authorized repair centers that are in the middle of a product repair and they don't know how to do it, or they're having a difficulty or something like that, and we would help them with that kind of work. So general customers were people we didn't normally talk to.
All right. Okay. And okay, so you shared like your what you did over here as in the printer thing, right? In this printer products support line, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
So what about the point of sale devices?
Similar, but there we worked with we didn't work with repair centers because no one really did repairs out in the field. But we worked with people that were writing software. So worked with developers that were writing point of sale software.
Right. So you work directly with developers who are writing this point of sale software. Okay. So like what was the first, what were the target like clients that you had for these devices, point of sale devices?
Well, Epson in point of sale, Epson was also one of the largest point of sale companies. So it was, for example, when you go to Starbucks and you get your receipt from Starbucks, that's printed off of an Epson printer.
Right.
Just as an
Oh,
example. That's
okay.
that's
All right.
that's it's and there's a lot. That's just one small printer. There's lots of different options, lots of different models. But that's just as a quick example. I'm pretty sure every
Right.
Starbucks has an Epson printer in it. Printing out receipts
Right.
and printing out those
Okay.
labels too. So when you get the labels now that say have your drink order on the side, that's also an Epson
Right.
printer. So
Oh, okay.
so
All right.
so that it's that kind of product. There's a lot more to it than just that one printer, but that's just a quick explanation of the kind of stuff that we did and that most people are familiar with. But so work with developers. Now, let me tell you a quick story. I'm not sure how to work this in.
All right.
The one boss I told you that I worked with multiple times, that's
Right.
where I met.
Okay.
That's where I first started working with him. Again, I don't know how you can put this in a resume or whatever, but he and I got along really, really well. We worked really, really well together. When I was in the point of sale group, the guys that were on the team, it's just a small team of 4 of us, they just wanted to do their work and go home and not have like new things or different things. But I was the kind of person that I would go to my boss and say, hey, what do you think about this idea or implementing this change to make things better or such and such? And he used to refer to me as his idea guy. And that's why we worked together. That's why we used to work together at 2 other businesses because, he and I worked well together and he knew I was the kind of person that was always looking for ways to improve things or ways to enhance things or whatever. There was
Where is he now?
So there was just real quick at the time when we were entering customer, the call